Hello and welcome. And I am popping in again for the second time today. I said that this week would be a spooktacular soiree. And yes, it is. Here we are. I wanted to come and talk to you about the Ouija board and my thoughts on it. I've done a small poll in my story today, so in my Insta story and in my Facebook story. It's just a small poll, and I'm not sure that many people have responded, but it is, the poll itself is sitting at, I asked people the question, was the Ouija board a cool thing? Is it just a tool, or is it something that you have to stay away from because it's a little scary? And so far the poll is sitting at 80% people saying to stay away. Now, this is not all that surprising, to be honest. The Ouija board does have a bit of a bad rap, to be honest. So I wanted to jump on here and share with you my thoughts, my beliefs around the Ouija board. Mixed feelings, Amy. That's fair enough. A lot of people do. So let's hope that I can demystify that for you and bring some new awareness to the tool that is the Ouija board. Now, I will say, so I have one here. So this is what we're talking about, the Ouija board, the psychic circle. I will open it up. This is a well-used one. I think someone gave it to me many years ago after they'd had plenty enough with it, and I just bring it out every now and then. Hi, Rosina. So this is what we're talking about. And I think the thing is, they get they get a really bad rap and a lot of bad promotion because of Hollywood. Because Hollywood, the movies, have taken it to the scary movie level, you know, just as well as so have our paranormal TV shows and that whole genre that has used the Ouija board as the psychic circle around that phenomena, and just using it as a prop, essentially, for their movies. And you know, there's even a scary movie out there called Ouija, you know. So for me, though, as a medium with over 20 years of experience and with a lot of expertise in coaching mediumship and understanding how mediumship works, it really is, for me, a tool. It is a tool. There is nothing more in that board. Energetically, there is nothing in that board, no difference in that board than, say, this pen, right? There is no difference. There is nothing that is, when they manufacture it, when they make it, when they put it together, there is nothing any different in that whatsoever. What it comes down to, spooky greetings, hello Catherine. What it comes down to is what we bring to the equation. Okay, so when we step into using any of our tools, what is our intention? What is the energy that we bring? How are we coming to this process? And this is where it can get a little, not out of hand, but it's where it can get a little skew-whiff, so to speak. So, for example, I will talk firstly for those of you that are developing your mediumship, that are have some level of training, some level of expertise, I will talk there first, and then I will talk secondly in regards to those that are untrained and have no knowledge whatsoever. Because essentially it is all about our intention. It is what we bring to it. So if you are developing as a medium, and I know many of you on this page are, and also too, I do feed this video into my Creative Heart Feminine Spirit community, and I know all of you in there are generally working to expand your mediumship abilities. So this is a really important topic because there is generally fear around this, and this is what I want to demystify. This is what I want to break down. So no, it's a board, firstly. Secondly, it's what we bring to it. And what effectively is happening, you are going in to the Ouija process and using the board with an intention to connect with the spirit world. Firstly, that is your intention. That is what you are bringing to it. So as a medium, you are essentially opening up your natural mediumship abilities that are already exist and are already there because they're an inherent aspect of the soul. So in your intention and your energy becomes really relevant in that. So if we come to it with an openness, if we come to it with an expertise and intention for love, if we come to it with awareness, with our boundaries as mediums, if we come to it with confidence, and if we come to it with all of those values, no different to using our oracle cards, no different to how we use these, no different to how we do a reading for someone else. If we come to it with all of that, then it will be just another divination tool. It'll be another tool for you to use with the spirit world, for you to communicate with the spirit world. Over the years, I have had students who, that was their tool. That was how they decided to learn, to open up their connection, and they got phenomenal pieces of evidence. They got real succinct information because while the process can be slow, because you are sitting there waiting for it to move and asking it to spell out information, while it can be slow, it can also be very specific if you use it correctly. So I would suggest that be open to the fact that it is just another tool. It is, you are the energy that controls the outcome, that controls the experience. It is you and your energy that determines your connection to the spirit world. And I do say that your connections to the spirit world are a reflection of you. It has got nothing to do with the board whatsoever, really. That is just like your oracle cards. It is just a tool. So that is just from the perspective of what it is if you are developing your mediumship. And I know I do a lot of mentoring, so a lot of my people will want to see it from that perspective. So I would say to you guys, you know, as long as you've got your boundaries in place, your intention is set, that it is all about purpose and love, then have a go, open yourself up. Experience your mediumship in lots of different ways. And by that, I would say that I've slowly come to understand that my mediumship doesn't connect with a Ouija board. It doesn't operate from that perspective. It's like it switches my mediumship off, or that physically it takes some physical energy to work with it, and I don't have the right kind of energy to generate that sort of movement on the board. I eventually came to understand that, but I have had lots of students that have explored it, and some really passionate about it, and one student that actually used the Ouija board as her way of doing readings for other people, and it was fascinating. So, so know that it is all about you and your mediumship. And this is true even if you are untrained, even if you have no recognizable mediumship talent, no recognizable psychic talent, and you get the Ouija board out to have experiment, a play around. You use it when you're on a ghost tour. If you're a teenager that's watching this video, as I used to when I was a teenager, it really is definitely, again, it's no different. It is you and your energy that is creating the connections. The board is really just the filter. The board is really just the tool. No, again, no different to if you are reading the tarot, you know. So your energy is really, really important. So if you come with it with a level of fear, then I would say, if there is any fear, don't step into it, because at the end of the day, the law of attraction is at play. Like attracts like, and your fear will generate that energy of fear, and that is where things can go skew-whiff, and that is where it can be your fear that will attract energy that will press those fear buttons for you, especially if you are in an environment that is haunted, for example, or supposedly haunted. I know you do, Therese. I've just been talking about you. You know, so it is your energy. It is, if you step into it with a level of fear, then yes, you can have what is perceived to be a negative experience, because your fear will operate and attract that. But it's not the board opening it up. It is you and your energy and your intention. And that's where we need to take some responsibility for. So I would suggest that if you come to it with a level of fear, then no, do not use it. But I would also be saying to you, don't use your tarot cards. Don't go on a ghost tour. Don't do any of those things that open you up to the spirit world if you have a level of fear. Work through that first. And find a good mentor and teacher that can help you do that in a safe environment. Don't do it on your own. Because at the end of the day, you using a Ouija board and connecting with a Ouija board is no different to going on a ghost tour. You and your energy have an impact. You are seeking to connect to the spirit world. And if you bring about an energy of fear, uncertainty, especially if you're in some of those haunted locations of jails and places that were corrupt and that did have mental health issues, then you are opening yourself up to a level of to being vulnerable if you're not strong at working with boundaries. So, but I'm not here to discount the fact that challenges, experiences happen. What I am here to demystify is the fact that it happens because of the Ouija board. It doesn't happen because of the Ouija board. It happens because of the energy and the mediumship energy that we all bring to the process. So I want people to understand that. And so if anyone has any questions, then by all means, ask away. And I know Amy wants to know what happens if you get a bad energy. And I guess it really comes down to, for me, it's more comes down to, firstly, your perception of what a bad energy is. And because my view of a bad energy is not necessarily the same as yours. And I very much am open to working and connecting in my mediumship experience with lots of different energies, and I will work with those that most people would see as undesirable and those that most people would not want to connect with. So this is where your boundaries as a medium become really, really important, and your awareness of your own energy is important as a medium, because it's when we don't have awareness that we can take on energy and not realize that it's an external influence and that it is something's happened, and we can then be walking through our day and taking it on as our own energy and not realizing until, or even thinking about, the reason why we're feeling depressed or angry or whatever it might be is actually because we've made a connection. So it is our boundaries, and those boundaries are set, if you're a medium, way before you step into any psychic process that like the Ouija board, or doing readings, or communicating with spirit, or going on a ghost tour. Those boundaries are set way before that. And those boundaries are usually set in conjunction with the kind of work that you do want to do, and the kind of energy and work that you do want to engage in, and what your purpose and your intention is behind your willingness to communicate with the spirit world. So if you happen to be in the moment of using a Ouija board and you come across a energy that you feel is a bad energy or negative, I would at first question it a little more specifically, and then just be very determined to not engage, to not accept, to send it away. And again, remember, this is about your energy, what's happening. The people around the board are working as one mediumship unit. So you need to be really strong in releasing that energy and letting it go, sending it away, being definitive and saying, talk to the hand, telling it to F off if you need to. Be very strong and not allow it to push your buttons, and not engage. So I know in my experience, a negative or a distrustful energy, or a soul that has not done the nicest things in life, is always going to come in firstly and push your fear buttons. So it's being aware of that, and it's not playing their game, so to speak, and just being very determined. I'm not someone that that's you, Therese. I'm not someone that is going to encourage using forms of protection here, because I personally come from a perspective that if you feel like you need to ask for protection, then what is sponsoring that is fear, and you shouldn't be engaging in the first place. Secondly, I want you to work through that fear so that you come to it from a more balanced perspective, and from a more perspective of openness, of less judgment, less fear, and come from a place of a greater sense of self-belief in what you're about and what you're attracting from the universe. So I'm not someone that does talk about using protection when it comes to Ouija boards, going on ghost tours, doing your readings or any of those things, I'm very much someone that is open in all aspects of my work, because I do not come to it from fear, and I honestly have had experiences that most people would be going, okay, that's not good. It's, you know, I don't like this energy, but I know for me, it's always come to, it's always sponsored by healing and purpose for me. So I usually get to an understanding of greater depths of understanding, and healing usually does come about from it, because that's my intention. So I just wanted to come here and really give you guys some food for thought, demystify the Ouija board, because it really is the fact that when we are using that in a group, the people around the board are working as one mediumship unit. And that is where the connection to the spirit world is taking place, not through the board. So it is our intentions, our level of fear and understanding, all of that that plays into it, and our energy that will create the experience. So no, it is really no different between using a Ouija board, a set of tarot or oracle cards, doing a reading for your friend, or going on a ghost tour. It is all your mediumship connection. Wouldn't you agree, Therese? Wouldn't you agree with that? Because I'm saying that to Therese because I mentioned earlier that some of my earliest students used to use Ouija board to do readings and make their connections, and Therese was one of those. So, and getting fabulous, fantastic evidence and information, and connecting with loved ones through the Ouija board. So know that they don't just have to be used for, you know, the scary paranormal experiences that that genre has created for us, that they can be used no differently to your oracle cards, or to the fact that you do want to sit down and connect with your spirit family. So they are fun, enjoy them, and by all means, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them anytime here on this thread about your Ouija boards. And I certainly hope that I've given you some food for thought to rethink about your thoughts on Ouija boards. So God bless, enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see you in the morning.